Hey guys, sorry for the long delay in videos. I'll explain that later. But today we are over at the farm where the house burned. My garlic is way overdue for picking, but I want to show you what is in the ground of my garlic, and y'all explain to me what is happening. I am trying to dig up as many of these as possible because I think we're going to get ready to sell the farm, and we are wanting to transfer all of these over to the other farm in some raised beds. So I'm going to flip you around and show you what I've got going on. So as y'all can see, my garlic is way overdue. It is laid down, and I'm going to start pulling this up. This ground is like super loose. We had a rain the last few days, and this garlic comes straight up out of the ground. Look at all the little babies that are attached to it. So I've been keeping those, but when you get down here, guys, this is what is happening. Way down in the soil here, there is, I mean, a bunch of these little ones right here, right here. There's another one. This hole is just full of all different sizes of garlic. And if I could just, and I just peel this back, and if I dig down here, they just keep coming up. And look at the little worms. Let's move it out of the way. Here's another one that's got to come up. And if I dig down here, just below that, there are more. There's one. That's a couple little ones. These are a little bit bigger. And as I'm moving the soil, these little ones are just popping out. See one that fell off? They're all different sizes. And you can see there's more down in here. And I'm just going to pull as many of these as I can out and transplant these. I mean, you can see they're all down in here. Every one of these that I'm pulling back, I'm putting in my hand. I'll show you just as soon as I get them up here. Can you see all of those? I'm going to continue digging, and then I'll show you my pile. I'm going to be here for a while. Okay, guys. I am continuing to pull up garlic. I pulled up some heads out of here, and all of these right here, some are not quite developed. They're all in different stages of life, but there is still more down in here, and I'm going to pull these out and let y'all see how many are coming out. Here's another one. Here's another one. Another. Rock. That's a garlic head that had died back. All these little babies right here. There's 2 more. They're just, this hole is just full of these little bitty starters. See another one right here. 2 more that fell out. And as I'm digging, I can feel these in my hand. That's another good one, little one, it's starting. More of these little babies. So a little backstory on this garlic. When we bought this farm, this had already been established here. So this is like 25 years old garlic. I harvest it every year. And there's another one. And it keeps coming back in various different sizes. I'm sure that there is thousands of little garlics in here. I don't ever get them all because they do get left behind as I'm pulling and all these little babies detach. So I've just kind of, these little babies, I replant these. And randomly here, I think there's another one there if it's not a rock. We'll see if we can get it. I think it's another one. Oh, I think that is a rock. Maybe a walnut, an old walnut. Anyways, I think we pretty much so got all of these. There's going to be some left behind that I didn't pull up. But look how good my soil is, guys. Our whole farm is like this here. Now, we just had a rain. Here's another one. We just had a good rain yesterday and the day before. So I thought it'd be perfect timing to come out here and dig this up and see what we have. All right, guys, here's my pile. As you can see, there's my hand. There's all different sizes in there. All right. Here's one that's still standing. Let's go ahead and pull it up. All right, may need to put the camera down. Okay, these are the 2 that I pulled out just now. And these little babies, I stick right back down in here. I'll take some home with me. As you can see, it's really nice garlic. I'd never planted this garlic other than just putting the babies back down into the earth and covering them up. Let's move over here. I think we've got a couple. I might be able to pull this one up. It's just right here. All right, guys, looky here. Look at all of this garlic. And I feel tons of babies down here. Okay, there you go. See all of those? We're going to pull every one of these up. Little babies. I'll take some of these with me. I mean, they are just falling off. Let's get you turned sideways. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna leave these little baby ones. There's a earthworm down in here. I've seen lots of those, but look, guys, can y'all see all of those? Hard to see these little bitty ones because they got dirt on them. There you go. That's what I've pulled out. I'll take some of those home with me. But as I'm digging here, there's little babies in here. These here we'll leave. And we'll cover the earth back up. Save those for next year. Let's move on over to the next plants. Okay, here's some more. This plant had died back, but look at the massive amount of these. I'm gonna try to dig these out while y'all are on camera. I didn't bring a tool with me when I came out here to the farm. I'm sure if I go down to the barn, I will find some old ones. There we go. There's babies all over this. Alright, there's some babies. I'm going to push them off. I can feel more in there, so just covering those back up. Alright, let's head over to the next ones. Okay, everyone, forgive me if I am dirty. It was very hot and sultry out here today. I am at the farm where the house burned, and I knew that I had tons of garlic that was probably ready to be harvested. Sure enough, I did. I knew it was also a good day to get out here to pull it up because we just had 2 rains out here back to back, and I knew that the sandy loamy soil would just be easy to pull things up. So let's turn this camera around and let me show you what I've pulled up here. So the very first things that I pulled up here was this tote that I got, and it has garlic in various different stages. This garlic right here came from where the yellow bucket is, so we'll clean that up real good. But what I have put in here is a bunch of the little, just like that one's got some heads. Let's see if I can pull some out. Are these little round ones that are beginning to develop, and the little eyes that were on them. Let me see if I can pull off a couple of them. Here we go. But some are even smaller than that. Let's see if I can find some. They're like way down in here. I just started pulling up the soil with everything just because there's some more. It was easier. There we go. These right here, I've got several of these in here. I must have 400 or 500 things of garlic in here, maybe more. Like I said earlier, we are planning on selling this farm. This garlic has been here long before I ever got here. I don't know the name of it. It was just there. I'd pull some up, and then I would replant all the babies back. And therefore, we had tons and tons of garlic growing out there. Some years I never harvested because the garlic we just had so much garlic in the house and I didn't see any need. So it just kept multiplying out there. I didn't even get it all. This is just a little bit of the garlic. There is a bunch under the ground that I didn't even try digging back up. I just got the heads that were still above the ground. A lot of them had already died back. I'm sure if I took a shovel out there, I could gently work the soil up and get hundreds more. And I may do that here in the next coming week if the ground is still soft, and get them ready to transplant onto the new farm and just start over there. So I've got lots of ideas about this garlic. I don't want to let it go. I don't know if there's any way to get it genetically tested to see what brand it is. I'm 100% certain that it is soft neck. And my friend Julie came out here last year. She dug a whole bunch of it up and took it to her farm. And I asked her just a couple of days ago, what did she think it was? And she said she was 100% sure that it was also soft neck. There was no scapes on this garlic. Some of them still had the flower heads on them. And let's see if I can show you some of those. This is the flower head that was on all of them. Some of them had already died back and they did not have these. So we are at the gate of my farm at Freck. I am heading home and to get washed up. As you can see, I am a wreck. I am hot and miserable. There is a little breeze out here, but I'm ready to get some ice water, which I have in the truck. So let's head on over to the farm where we now live, and let's go through this. Hey everybody, we are back at our farm where our house is, and I've gotten a table, and I have set up a couple of containers here to put different size bulbs in, so I can plant them accordingly. And I'll just let y'all watch me sort through these, and then we'll talk about how I'm going to replant these and what I think the different stages are. Through all the garlic seeds in this little tote, and I'm just sorting those according to what I think is this year's babies and then last year's growth. So I think these right here, are this year's little babies that came off the well-developed heads. And I believe, with my research, these round ones are first year developments. So initially, a garlic head would take 3 years to develop. So, and then you get these round ones that don't have cloves. Then, let's see. After they're well developed, they do develop their little initial cloves. And this one here also may be in a first year. You can see how all the little babies are attached to it. Let's see if I can find a better one. All right, so here's one that I had pulled up, and I think the third year is what these are. This is what you're going to get. You can see the ridge development in these, and I think these are the third year. So if what I am reading and listening to is correct, garlic initially would take 3 years to develop from a seed, but the clove heads, I believe they will develop in a year. So I will be planting these in different beds. These that look like maybe the first year growth, I will plant in a separate bed, and these that maybe look like they're much smaller, I will plant in a different bed according to size, and try to keep up with it that way. It's definitely going to be a long process. It looks like it could take at least 3 years, but I should have some good data from it. Some of these are a little bit smaller. I'm just going to put over here, and then I'll resort these little ones again. I'll plant a section with these, and then I'll plant a section with these, and then these right here that are just round, I'll plant a different section. So I'll try to get about 3 different sections of this garlic planted. I've got just scads of these little babies. Now these look like little onion bulbs, but these are garlic developing. And I'm just gonna sit here and sort through these. Yeah, here's a little bitty one. I'm gonna go back over to the farm this evening when it's a little bit later and the sun isn't out, and I'm gonna get several bags of this soil, and that way I can put in containers and get these to growing. Now look at this little bitty one. Little bitty one that is growing, and I think there's one even smaller. Yeah, there is. Let's see. I'm just gonna hold it by that. Look at that teeny tiny one. I'm gonna sit here and continue to sort, and then when I get it all done, I will bring you back. Okay, so I've dumped the yellow tote out about all this dirt, and we still have a whole bunch of these. Some are just so little. I mean, look at the different sizes, guys. I'll try to do a lineup of the different sizes so that you can see until one is mature. And I'm saving this dirt as I go along because I'm almost certain that there's small ones in there that I don't want to throw away, and I'll just put it in my flower bed, and if something grows in it, then I'll know that there's some little bitty ones that I did not see, or maybe, I don't know if you even call them spores, but small ones that I couldn't even see. And this is what I'm talking about. These are so little that you could barely see them, so it would just be too easy to throw the dirt away. So throw it in your flower bed so that you would find these little nuggets. Yeah, another one that's just a little bit bigger. That's the reason why I say don't throw the dirt away, because some of this stuff is going to be very well hidden in the dirt. All right, now I'm just finely sifting this and putting my dirt back in the container. Yeah, I could feel there's a little one right there. Couldn't see it, but I could sure feel it. Another one. Yeah, some of these are just so small it's hard to see with the eye. I don't think that's one. And plus, with them being dirty, it's just real easy to pass those up. All right, here is my garlic lineup in different stages of growth. As you can see how teeny tiny that is, and just moving right along to the point that you get to the harvest stage. Now, I do believe from this point to this point is 3 years. I believe these little bitty ones take a year. You get to the bulb development stage, which has not quite yet turned into cloves. This, I would say, somewhere in here is the 2nd year. And then I would say this is the 3rd year to harvest. So from here to here, if I am wrong, please tell me, but I think it's going to be 3 years. All right, guys, this is what I picked up today from the farm. I've got all of these cloves of garlic. That will be enough for me for a year. And then in here is all of my little baby transplants, and there's hundreds in here. And then this next container, you can see how deep it is, has all the next transplants. Now, some of these are not transplants. They still have their babies on them. I may go ahead and transplant some of these just like they are with the babies, and just see how I get along. And this would be a long process. It'd probably take 3 years to do all the data on it, but I'm anxious to see. Hey guys, and thank you for following along. I want to thank all of my loyal subscribers. I know it has been a very long time since I've put out a video. I am going to try to start doing once a week videos, and see how that goes. I just now went back to work. I am only working part-time, but still have a lot of stuff going on. So if y'all would stay with me, click and like and subscribe. I was very close to being monetized, and then when I just wasn't able to put out any more videos due to health issues, then my watch hours went down. So I encourage all of y'all to go back and re-watch those videos so that I could get monetized and get a lot more content put out for y'all. So today is Sunday. This is the last day of the month, and if y'all would just watch and follow me and click on those videos,